I scoured the internet and I found what I feel like are the top 5 worst handshakes. But before you can talk about the worst handshakes, we need to see what a proper handshake is. So I want you to answer, chat. I want a prediction of which handshake is a good handshake, 1 or 2. So here's handshake number 1, and we have handshake number 2. Both classics. So it looks like you put your channel points down. It says we have 23,000 channel points on handshake 1 and 10,000 channel points on handshake 2. The answer is handshake number 1. Obviously, that's the proper handshake. You wouldn't do anything else other than handshake number 1. All right, let's learn how to give a proper handshake.
Hi, I'm Laura Caton from Caton Consulting. Has anybody ever given you the slippery wet fish? So what are the main elements to remember about giving a proper handshake?
Yep.
First, your web must connect to somebody else's web.
Web to web.
2, curl your fingers around and then squeeze. Pump 2 or 3 times. The words you want to remember are firm and brief. Then introduce yourself and let go.
All right, this is not a sex ed video, Alvis. No. Now we can go into the important part of Top 5 Tuesdays, or the top 5 handshakes, okay? Number 5, PewDiePie, with one of the worst handshakes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes! Yes! That was awful.
So we can see Conan O'Brien going for a handshake or a high five. We really can't tell. But then PewDiePie comes in with another high five, perceiving it to be a high five, but then Conan switches to a handshake. And then they miss, and then they grasp. And he grasps his hand right here. How many pumps do we see? 1, 2. 2 pumps, not bad. Number 4 is the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison goes to try and shake the hand of a firefighter who does not appear keen. He got denied for a handshake, and he still went for it. And his handshake was so bad that the guy stood up and walked away. Shortly after the non-handshake, the Prime Minister said, "Tell that fella I'm really sorry. I'm sure he's just tired." And the incident controller, which is this guy right here talking to him, said, no, he lost a house. So we have, for number 3, is every Mewtwo King and PPMD handshake, plus every other awkward M2K handshake. Mewtwo King is one of the top melee players for a long period of time. He's one of the Smash gods. Mewtwo King is known for having the worst handshake ever, especially when he loses. He has awful handshakes. He just doesn't know what to do. His body goes limp.
Good job by Mr. King. And that's it.
Right here.
That's a good hit.
Look at the face of a man who just lost. So PPMD here he's starting with a nice, firm, solid beginning handshake here, right? His hands out like this, normal for a handshake, right? Mewtwo King, being Mewtwo King, does this. Brings up his hand like this, like he's bicep curling. And then we see this. PPMD's hand is right here. Mewtwo King's hand at this point is right here. He clasps with 3 fingers, pumps 1 time and slams it down. There was no pumps at all. It's not even a handshake. That just looked like assault. He just grabbed his hand and chucked it down. So number 2. That's the handshake. Probably one of the worst handshakes I've ever seen in my life. The reason why this handshake is bad to me is that the goal of a handshake is, sure, you want a web. Web is important. Web to web is important, right? You want to grasp, and then you want to pump 2 to 3 times. The biggest issue with this handshake? Sometimes a handshake is so good you have to go backstage with your friend. I don't know. It was firm but not brief. It wasn't brief enough. And because how little brief it was and how awkward it was, he literally shook his hand. So now we have number 1. Now, number 1, to me personally, is the worst handshake, hands down, without any question. To think in your mind that you can shake the hand of somebody who does not have a hand is one of the craziest handshake attempts, I think, in our modern time. I don't think there's anything that beats this one. I physically face-palmed. I want to see the full clip. I just didn't know where to find it.
And adopted to a large farm family in...
Damn, this guy's fucking what the fuck? Oh no, they have the clip of it.
Cheer. Marissa Dragani, CBC News.
Oh, they didn't show it. Oh, it was already
Gennaro,
over.
next
Oh,
year.
they showed the second. Oh, he was shaking his foot. Oh, no. He shook his foot after he fucked up.